Not everyone's going to continue that path with you. And that doesn't mean that they're not going to be around, that you won't have communication with them, but they will not be in alignment with the life you're building. And so you have to recognize that, and you have to be willing to let those people go for a little while and let things be. That's part of the acceptance. Yeah.
I don't want to go too deep into it, but I know that we're in our process of healing. A lot of things will come up that we just have to remember not to judge harshly. Like, and remember that for the most part, I think people only did the best that they could, regardless of what it is.
Mhm.
So if you have to step away from that for your own self, then by all means do it. But try to keep the hatred out of it, and keep some understanding and a little bit of understanding. And my mom was not the best mom in the whole world. She had a whole lot of issues, and I spent a whole lot of time hating her. I really did. But then as I started healing, I realized, she was just a projection of her own traumas and her own insecurities and her own illnesses, and it didn't have anything to do with me. It affected me greatly, and there were times when I had to distance myself. But if you keep the hate with you, and then you focus on that instead of your own healing.
Everyone is doing the best they can with what they have, what they know.
Right.
So no, I don't think anybody gets up in the morning and they're like, I'm going to do the worst I can today. Well, everybody gets up and they're like, I'm going to have I'm going to do everything I can in my power to make this horrible day for everybody around me. Nobody wakes up and says that.
Mhm.
Everybody is doing the best they can with what they know in that very moment.
Yeah.
And sometimes the capacity that we have is different. So my capacity is going to be different than Shannon's capacity. So if I'm going to work, Shannon and I have the same job. I'm going to work, and it's a stressful day. My level and my capacity to handle it is different than what Shannon's is. And I'm still doing the best I can, and Shannon's still doing the best she can.
I'm working on it, but I'm right here.
So everyone's capacity is different. So you can't judge and say, like, well, why didn't she do this? And why about that? And, all of that, because your level of healing and your level of capacity is different than everybody else's. And so there's always going to be someone that is further along in the healing process than you, has greater capacity than you. And there's always going to be people that have less capacity. And there are less along on their journey.